Welcome to another tutorial. Today it's an animation tutorial with the software Animate, and what we're going to be having a look at is how to properly do audio between two characters. You can do more, but I'm going to show you in today's video how to do two. We'll do more in another video, but if you're starting off, this is a good way to cover the basics, and I'll show you what I've done. I've not completed this animation yet, but I'll show you what I've done so far for the first scene, and then I'll take you through the approach that I use, and we'll do scene 2 and scene 3 all in the same timeline. So this isn't like using the scene up here and adding a scene. That's a bit different. This is just keeping everything in a folder. See, as I've already got here for scene 1. So let's make a new folder. That's the first thing. We'll call it scene 2. Now I'll show you what's in scene 1. First of all, we've got the two characters. We've got the trans character and the blubberjack character. So for the trans character, we've got the audio and we've got the character, and for the blubberjack character, we've just got the character. We don't have any audio for him. So that's what I call scene 1, because there's a round ring of things happening. Now let's watch the video and you can see what they are. So as you can see, there is a change about here with the eyes, and there's also a blink a bit earlier on there. Let's see if we can catch it. There's also a blink with the eyes. So that's all been done for scene 1, and the audio sync for the trans character has been done, and that's the audio that I've used for the sync here. Now the way that you normally set up the audio is you put it inside, first of all, the head or the body or wherever your mouth symbol is. So I'm going to take you through that and show you just the setup, what I've done and how I approach my animations normally. Now this is really the best approach in the consolidated effort of months of time and things of weeks writing things down and testing things. So let's go. So we've got scene 2 now that I want to look at. We've done scene 1. Now I'm just going to see where does that go up to, so I know it goes up to 79. I'm just going to show you how I know that. Oh, it doesn't go up to 79. 79 is where the audio ends, but I've decided to push it up a bit so there's a gap, and it ends on, here we go, 85. So for scene 2, I go up to assets. I've already got my 2 stars for the animation. Now the way I built those is I built those in their own sheets, and I've extracted them from here as assets from the library. So as you can see, this is the blubberjack character. All I've done is I've exported as an asset, exported here, and saved the character as what I have now in here, which is star. All you do is you just import the asset here and import as your ANA file it is. So this is where you can have your assets, your animated or static assets. So this is just a static asset. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this character down onto the timeline, and this is the important thing that you have to do and remember, is you have to put duplicate items into a folder. The option at the bottom, always remember to choose that. If you don't choose that, this doesn't work. You have conflicting symbols overwriting each other, so always choose the bottom one. Be careful of that. So there we go, I've got the character. Now in the first scene he's just standing there, so obviously, so I'm just going to resize him to what he looks like underneath. The quick way to do that is let's see if we can come to scene 1. Click on the, better take the tick off, click on the symbol, go to properties and object, and there is the width, so I'll copy that, come on to here, do the same again, come on to the width, change the width, come on to here, the first one, go to properties, get the height, copy that, come back to the new one, properties, and paste the height in. There, that gives me the same character. So there, now I can just line them up as best I can. There it is, I think. Now if we look at the timeline, we'll see we've got it blank up until there, so that's overwriting. So we've done, if you can see where we are, we'll just check what it looks like. So I maybe don't want as much movement as that. I'm just going to move him up a bit and see what difference that makes. No, he needs to be moving down. He's too far up, so let's see, we'll move him down a bit. That's probably too far down there. That might be it. There, that's it, bang on. Right, so at the moment, if I hide this, that's what the layer looks like underneath. So the problem is this needs to move one space over. So now we have here and we have here. If I add the visible back on, let's see, so there we go, we've got it working. And I just have to, all I do here is I'm just going to expand the timeline for everything here. Actually, I'm not going to do that. Hold on, hold your horses, hold on a minute here. This is for scene 1. If we've got scene 1 and we're finished, this is scene 2 and this is where we're starting. So at scene 1 we need to set up blank keyframes all the way down here for what's in scene 1. So I'm just going to select all the scene 1 here, right click and convert to blank keyframes. So that finalizes everything in the previous scene. So there we go. I can now drag this one up to scene 2, and these are the items for the background, so I can expand these to a bit further along while I'm working. Select them all in a group, hit F5 and then come back to where we were. So I'm also going to need the trans girl as well, so we're going to have to do the same for her. Come back here, add a new layer. Actually, we don't need to add a new layer. When you pull in an asset, each time you pull in the asset, it's always, remember, bottom one, and each time you pull in the asset it always opens up its own new layer, so you don't need to add a new layer. So it's quite handy actually. You can remember that each time you pull in an asset it's going to be allocated its own layer and be specific to its own symbol. Right, so we've got to first of all flip horizontal, and then I'm just going to do the same again. I'm just going to test something. Can you actually do this? If you could, this would be outstanding. Take the lock off, click there, use the eyedropper, click the symbol, come on to the trans girl and paint. No, it doesn't work. Okay, that would be good. Right, so we're going to go the way that we just done, which is click here, get her size, click the other girl, get her size, change it, come back to the first one, properties, height, copy, second one, properties, height, paste, there we go, both the same, hide that, move into the right place. Let's see, we'll try and get this perfect. That might be it. Let's see. Yep, that's it. So I can do the same again. I can move here and move along. Now you'll notice that this one doesn't have, this bottom one doesn't have the extended length here, but the top one does. And if you're wondering why that is because in between doing each of these, we expanded the timeline here. So anything after is always going to follow the longest objects on the timeline. So the timeline goes up to 135. As soon as we build anything new on the timeline, it's going to just automatically keyframe up to 135 or 145, I can't remember, but you know what I mean. Right, so now we're going to have the Blubberjack character talking. So we're going to expand the timeline a bit. Let's do that. I don't know how, actually this is just a really short one. Let's see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the Blubberjack character. I'm going to show you how he's made. This is his body, and we've got his body, we've got the logo, we've got the head, and we've got the pumpkin hand. If we click on his head, which is the one that we want to change, click on it, and we've got mouth. That's our mouth keyframes that we've got. I'm just going to add an audio. And then I'm going to import the audio, and this is audio 2. This is a short one, so there's only going to about here. So that's where it goes to. I'm just going to expand the rest of the keyframes using shortcut keys, and there, that's we've got the length of that, and that's 13. So that's the number we have to remember for the moment. Let's see, save that. Come back here. Now you'll see this is what we've got. So let's expand this to 13 to match the length of the mouth. And if I come back into head again, I've got the audio. Now I need to do the lip sync. So click on mouth. I've already set up the mouth vism, so I'm not going to go through that in this video. That might be for another video. But if you have got them set up, then you just come up to your object properties and lip sync, and then match them up. And then you can click done. That's just a short no, so that's, let's just see what it looks like. Perfect, that's all we need. Right, so I'll just save that. Now a tip, if you're saving files, save as, don't save them as FLA, save them as XLFA or XFL. Where did A come from? XFL. Okay, so we've got the Blubberjack character spoken. I want to actually change his eyes as well, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to his eyes. Now these should be broken apart to symbols, because unless they're broken apart, or they should be broken apart to layers, unless they're broken apart, then we can't see what they actually are. So let's see, we've got the right eye and we've got the left eye. I'm just going to drag this back to the start to give us the whole thing. That's fine. I'm just going to fix this, hide the mask. That mask's hidden. That's fine. Now if you notice that while I'm working, the pupils are outside the eye. Now you should put the mask back on. You don't need to though, because for the simple way that Animate works is if you come out of this, you'll see that it automatically inside each symbol, everything automatically acclimatizes to the way it should be. So all of the masks get used and all of the layers get unlocked or locked. So you don't have to worry too much about that. You can just edit things on the timeline. And I'm just going to edit the pupils. I want them saying no, and I want them looking at the pumpkin. So I'm just going to come to the pupil on, let's say here, insert a keyframe. This is left pupil. I'm just going to move better zoom in to get control. Move the pupil over. I'm going to edit keyframe and move the right pupil over. And that should be fine. Come out of there. Yeah, that looks alright. Right. Now this is what you have to do with the audio. We've got the mouth keyframes and the visemes for the audio. So the next thing I do, this might seem counterproductive. You have to remember this number though. Remember this number, 13. Right. So we remove the audio. There we go. We'll delete it because we don't want it inside a movie clip or inside a graphic. The audio shouldn't be there. I'll show you where the audio goes. Well, you already know because you've seen it. We'll add a new layer. This is the main timeline. I'm just going to call it let's see, audio 2. So all we need to do is just come on to here. Actually, there's no reason for you to remember that number that we got for the length of the audio, but what you do is you come on to where the audio is, and the audio should start, which is here. Insert a blank keyframe. And remember, it's starting here because this is where the mouth starts. So you can actually see it starting here. So here's the audio. We come up to properties, click sound, and you'll find in your drop down menu the sound there. Make sure that everything's okay here. It normally is default, repeat once and stream, so that's perfect. So there's where the audio is, and as you can see it comes along here automatically and loads in. So this is scene 2. Let's make sure that we get a little bit of a gap up to maybe, let's see, let's watch it and make sure it's worked. Oh, it's going round in a loop. It's going round in a loop. Right, I'll show you. That's easily fixed, I think. Let's just first of all fix it in the first way. Up to here, that's all we need. Just up to this bit. Blank keyframe there. And I can remove this. We don't want the blank keyframes just sitting there doing nothing. And put a blank keyframe here at the end. And that's then finished scene 2. So let's take a look at what's happened so far, just to summarise. We've got our first scene, we've done that. Let's move forward on our second scene. Here's where the second scene starts. Scene 2. There's the keyframes. And there's the eye change. So that's how we do it. If you're gonna do the same again with another character, then you just follow the same process that I've done. In this one I split them up in between 2 folders here, but you don't need to do the folders, that's just to show you the difference. You can just have them in one scene folder and have them each like that, or break them up. It's up to you. It just depends how many, this is what I'll show you in another video, it depends how many characters you're doing, if it's going to get sort of really complicated or not. So that's us done scene 2. And check out YouTube for the final animation. It's going to be called Blubberjack. No, it's not called Blubberjack. What's it called? I'm reading Blubberjack. It's called Brother, Can I Have Some Pumpkin? And it stars Blubberjack. So stay tuned on YouTube and look out for it. Do a search for Funkmation and subscribe to the channel. It's recommended. Big shout out to Bojack101. Okay, this video's probably went on for long enough. Thanks for watching. Thanks for staying tuned. Hope you can like it. And have a good night. Take care. Bye.